Good evening, everybody. It's Tailgate Tuesday with the Idle Zone Syndicate. What's shaking, guys?
The tree in my backyard shook and dropped all the leaves in my yard.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
It's fall.
Unfortunately, I didn't do any leaf picking up like in the last over the weekend or Monday because I thought I'm gonna wait and it's gonna blow them all off and I'm just gonna have to do it one time. Well, it blew about half of them off. So I got to do the leaves probably tomorrow afternoon and Thursday, and then I'll have to do them again some other time because we have a ton of them. I mean, it gets deep.
Mm-hmm.
Those trees on the backside, you got to stay on top of it. We had the Toyota Series here last weekend. That was an exciting finish. Had a few of the guys stay here. Had Jackson Roumbanis staying here, and the high school TBF national champion. They got a berth in that thing, and one of those guys stayed here, and they stayed here during the national championship, but they get a berth in the Toyota Series, and so they came back and stayed. And,
cool.
And we had 3 or 4 others, and one guy, Adam Bealey, I think it was. He finished like 6th place, stayed here, so he had a good tournament.
Cool.
Carson, the high school kid, just finished just out of the money, and I'm not sure where Jackson finished. He had a decent tournament, but he didn't finish in the money. Oh, is that our special guest?
That's
Got Mama Crank.
That's producer Crank.
Well, hello.
Making a guest stop by.
Yeah, at least she's clothed, unlike my son.
Yeah, that's right.
I just have to do that.
I'm sure we'll. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. We need all the help we can get.
All right. See ya.
Bye, Mom.
See you, Pam.
And what else is going on?
Wow. Crank got photobombed by his mom.
Yeah, that's cool. That don't happen very often.
It's something.
It is something. Let's see what else happened. You can call me Recliner Repairman, Recliner, and I repaired the recliner in the camper today. And I replaced some shades. So in the rooms that were defective under warranty, they sent us some new ones, and I put them up. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Man, you're expanding your horizons and repertoire.
Well, now, Mr. Handyman, I didn't even have to get on YouTube to do either one of those.
Oh wow!
Hello.
How about that? What else? Tomorrow is our first ABA Grand Lake Division 65. Tomorrow's the first event for 2026. And that starts tomorrow. So I hope we have a pretty good turnout. We actually have a guy from Kansas staying with us tonight just to fish that tomorrow. So,
well, cool.
That's cool.
Heck yeah.
And then this weekend we have the Kansas Buddy Bass Championship. A bunch of guys coming in for that. Almost full. I think we had one cancellation. So we do have one room available for this weekend, along with the Cherryvale Club Championship is this weekend as well here. So I'm fishing that. That's
Awesome.
what's going on in my world.
Very cool.
Do want to say thank for all the veteran service.
Yes.
Certainly don't want to not mention that today. And we had some festivities here in Grove. I driving through town, and they had a ceremony going on downtown. It was pretty cool. So thanks to all the servicemen and women.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. Kind of a unique situation tonight. And this seems to be a trend with us, and I hope it continues. We've had fathers that fish, and then their sons, and then we had a father and son together.
Yep.
And then last week we had a son, and now we're gonna have a father. Cool. Very cool.
Before we had the son on, though, I gotta say, we had Randy on, and if y'all were watching, we had a little wager, which I lost, and he let me know that I lost, and so I owe Randy Howell an ice cream when
Okay.
he comes,
Well, we're going to hold him to it. He's got to come here to collect it, though, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Now we
Only
can move
redeemable
on.
at the Lake Lodge, Grand Lake.
That's right.
We have a cool guest tonight. I'm looking forward to this one. Who do we have, John?
We have Freddie Boom Boom Roumbanis. You mentioned it. We had his son last week. We had Jackson, who, by the way, was a great interview. Well, let's just bring on his dad, Freddie. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We are good.
Great.
Jackson did a great job last week on the interview.
Wow.
I kind of sprung it on him, like, we had Randy Howell on for the first half of the show, and Randy let us know he could only be on for about 30 minutes. So Jackson was sitting over there, and I said, "Would you like to come on the show?" And he said, "Yeah." And he did a great job.
He did. He really was good.
That's awesome. Hey, can you give me just 1 sec? I got to let this dog out real quick.
Yeah,
I apologize. 1 second.
You're fine. We'll let him in. Help bring the dog in.
Get your clothes on.
Hi, Ollie.
They say hi. Are you going to say hi? No?
No?
Hey, bud.
All right.
Sorry about that,
His
Cat.
name's Fred. Your middle name is Fred.
It's a great name.
No, that was my grandpa's name.
Really?
There you
yep.
go.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. Of course, the dogs bark right as we get this rolling.
Oh, always.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem.
Love it. You could have brought him in with you.
Yeah,
Still
absolutely.
one more in the shop that might be a problem.
Well, so
I
about a
see
year
him.
ago,
He just went behind you. Did he have one leg? Did that dog have one leg?
He's been limping around, and he'll limp for like half a day, and then he'll run around on all four like nothing. So I don't really know. It's like
Something's bothering him.
oh, maybe he stepped on a lure or something. Yeah, he's definitely limping around. He's walking on 3 legs. You okay, bud?
Yeah, something's bothering him.
I better let him out too. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get them all out of here so we can talk.
another trend.
Yeah.
They're gonna end up chasing all the deer away is what they're gonna do. But
Yeah,
we can't have
probably.
that.
I don't know. I think they just play with them. It's wild. I've seen the deer and the dogs just kind of hanging out together, and I'm like, how is that even possible? I get up there, and the deer are gone. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That shouldn't be.
no, they'll show up on the cameras, and it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
About a year ago, we had Stephen Browning and Bo Browning on together, and I think they're the Ranger owners deal. I don't
Yeah.
remember where they were, but
Yeah.
they were in motel room together, sharing the room, and Bo had his dog with him, a yellow lab, and that rascal would not leave him alone. He was jumping on the bed and crawling on him, and it was hilarious, man.
It must be something with podcasts.
It
They're
must
laying
be.
around. Yeah, they just, as soon as I get one of these going, they act up a little bit, you know. I apologize there. I'm glad.
No,
Love it.
not a problem. So
Hey.
I pulled some stats off MLF. I don't know if these are like your whole career winnings and all that, but it says you got four wins and 29 top 10s, 50 top 20s, a couple Red Crest appearances, $1.7 million in earnings. That's a pretty good career.
I appreciate a lot of that was over on the Bassmaster side too. So.
Yeah, I know that they combine them. Yeah, yeah. So what are your plans for moving forward? What are your plans for?
Yeah, so I did the Bass Pro Tour for the last, I think, 6 years, and man, it was fun. It's a real challenging deal. You got to catch as many fish as you possibly can. It's different than the way I had most of my success in the past. I did manage a couple red crests out of it, but I'd rather personally be targeting 5 fish. So I'm excited. That's what I'm going to do. I like one scale. I like weighing in on stage, fan engagement. That was more of a TV show product. It was a lot of fun, very challenging, way harder in my opinion. But it wasn't for me. And the last couple of years, I've come back home just almost angry. And I love bass fishing. I love bass fishing probably more than the next guy, next competitor. And I'm so looking forward to what I'm about to do next year. And that really means I'm going to fish a lot. But I'm going to go back to stages. I signed up for the Major League Fishing Pro Circuit, which is a 5-fish limit format. I've also signed up for the MPFL. And I'm really excited about that as well. That thing, that league is really a positive, just got incredible vibes over there. So I've talked to a lot of anglers. They absolutely love it. And then I was also looking at the schedule, and I have just a couple of days to see if I can pull this off, but there's also a series of the opens that don't conflict at all. So I may be fishing all 3 leagues next year to an extent.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So that's my goal. There is some conflict with the MPFL and the pro circuit. Unfortunately, there's 2 that overlap. And then if I was to chase the championship on the pro circuit, it would overlap with the MPFL tournament. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is fish for the pro circuits and then the entire MPFL. And that way I'm still chasing a championship. There's also another championship that we're kind of waiting to see if it's going to go through again, but that Ultimate Angler World Championship in Alabama, where Alabama funded $1.3 million to the most incredible payout. That is, I'm a member of the Unified Anglers. Anybody wants to do that, from weekend tournaments to whatever sanctioned through that Unified Pros, you pay $500 a year. And if you're the highest finisher in any one of the sanctioned tournaments, it could be an ABA pro tournament, or it could be, Bassmaster Open, or it could be anything. If you're the highest finisher in that event, you're automatically entered in a mega payout tournament. So we're still waiting on the answer if that's going to go through again this year. I've actually been asked to be on the advisory board for the Unified Pros on behalf of the MPFL. So I'm pretty excited about that too. So it gives me a little more responsibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a pretty cool event. And I hope they do. I hope they're able to do it again, because it was, I think it did what it was supposed to do. It unified everybody. like,
Right.
everybody, even, your league, your people that were loyal to one league or the other, your scopers, your non-scopers, everybody was unified and had a good time. It looked like, from everything I saw. And I think that's a really neat deal. Now, last year, I do think it kind of flew under the radar a little bit, and I think everybody is looking to. So I don't know if they're going to, if they do bring it back, are they going to have to limit it? Are they going to have to change that qualifying process a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I like I said, I keep you filled in on my end of what's happening, but I've become pretty good friends with Danny Groves that pretty much heads the whole deal, and he's got a couple meetings later this week, and if everything flies, then here's the thing: if it goes again, it's going to go for many years in the future. So, but what's neat about it is it's not sponsor driven yet. It is funded, and every state, there's money that goes to the conservation side of the state. I mean, that's just what it is. So they were able to pull funds from that to put together this incredible event and really bring Alabama together. I think there could be a bidding war with different lakes in Alabama because Guntersville being the primo one, there's also Lay Lake. There's
sure.
I mean, there's a bunch of Logan Martin. I mean, there's possibilities of the Alabama River. I mean, there's just so many places they could go there. And I'm sure all the cities involved are going to fight for that event in the future. I do believe that if it goes through, and they seem to have liked it. I got to spend a little bit of time during the golf event prior to the tournament, and where they had Lieutenant Governor, Governor to be, the mayor of Scottsboro, and some other people there. That everyone was excited about this event. So I think it's going to go again, but I'm not. I mean, that's out of my hands. So if it does, it'll be wonderful.
Do you think, or have you heard any talk about trying to do it elsewhere, like Oklahoma? Texas?
Well, that's kind of I'd like to see it become something more than just a one event deal. There's a little talk about it. I think Missouri might. It really comes down to the states that put a lot into their fishing, right? I mean, I could see Arkansas, where I live. I could see Texas, I could see Oklahoma, and I could see Missouri. Those are the ones that I could see in the future. Where
what about Kansas? Milford Lake? What about Milford Lake?
I don't know about that. It's funny because that's where Danny's from. So you never know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about Kansas.
He's from Milford Lake area?
No.
Kansas.
No. Just Kansas. Kansas fine. Milford, no.
I don't know. I need to answer Brandon's question right quick. I asked the question, Brandon, and got told no, but I asked again if you could do it and not be without advancing to the championship, and they never answered. So right now it's a no. Brandon Acker, so I run an ABA division for anybody that's wondering what I'm talking about. I run an ABA division on Grand, an AFT, American Fishing Tour, and they have a rule in there that if you have fished a tournament in the last 6 months with an entry fee of $675 or more, 2 or more of those tournaments in the last 6 months, you're not eligible. And Brandon fishes the opens and would like to fish. And frankly, I don't think any of the guys here would mind if Brandon fished, but the rules say that he can't. So if I hear different, I'll let you know, Brandon. That's a bummer.
That's how it is in a lot of events. I mean, I know like the big bass tournaments and stuff like that. A lot of
Mhm.
them, and if you've competed in a Open or Toyota Series at that high entry fee, yeah,
Yeah.
it's no good to get into those tournaments, because really it's the idea. A lot of those events is to bring the weekend guys together, and
Yeah.
I fully understand it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do these tournaments on Wednesday because I can't really do them on a weekend. Either I'm fishing or or I've got rooms to clean or something. And I asked them if I could do them on Wednesday, and it said yes. And so all the guys that either own their own businesses or all they do is fish, those are the guys that are fishing this deal. And Brandon's one of those guys, owns his own business and fishes the opens. And good dude, just not eligible right now. Sorry, Brandon. You'll have to wait another day to take my money. Okay, where were we? So how did you, when did you know you wanted to be a professional fisherman? You came from the West, right?
Yeah. I grew up in California,
Yeah.
East Bay of San Francisco. My dad was a cable car conductor in San Francisco, and my mom worked out there as well. And it was just where I grew up. There was a reservoir, we were down the hill. I could ride my BMX bike down to it, and I would just spend the summers fishing, and I absolutely loved it. Back then, we watched Bassmasters on TNN. We had a little, like, a Kmart not too far away. Yep, that's a bass I caught at Lafayette Reservoir right there. As a matter of fact, that bass that you're showing, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
So that bass was weighed in on one of those little spring scales that maxed out at 12 pounds. And that I brought it to the ranger station there at Lafayette Reservoir. It dropped to 12 pounds fast and hard, but that's all it would weigh.
Yeah.
And so they gave me 12 pound at the time. It was lake record. And, I always felt like it was bigger than that, the way it dropped on that scale, but that was the biggest scale they had.
Yeah.
We didn't have these fancy digital ones. And I look back at that picture, and I weighed a 13 in a tournament, and I just
Yeah.
look at that picture. It just, I don't know.
It looks
To me, it
bigger.
just looks a lot bigger than 12 pounds.
It looks bigger to me.
Yeah.
So,
My
yeah.
PB is 12.3, and it looks bigger than that to me.
Yeah, it was I was a chunky little kid, so I mean it was a big fish. I mean, it was massive. I wish I could have had a better scale, but you know what? Caught that at 13 years old, and I was pretty
How'd
dang
you
proud
catch
of
it?
it.
Did you catch it on a frog?
No, I actually caught it on a black and blue jig with a green number 11 pork rind, casting from one dock to another, and just in January, and letting it just drag it off the bottom, and it just thumped it. And I remember setting the hook, and it was on, and it was just, I mean, I fought it all the way to the, no net or anything like that, and reached over the side of the dock and grabbed it and ran him up to the station. It was amazing, honestly. That fish, I remember it like yesterday, and I was 13 years old. I just turned 47, so yeah, it's crazy. The time flies, but that was a massive bass.
That's pretty cool. That's what's great about fishing, just fishing in general. You can remember that fish, or we can remember a certain dock that we caught a fish on, or a tree, or we can't remember. We can't remember. I can't remember what I was just getting ready to ask you, but I can remember.
I know,
you
right?
know, where I caught my biggest bass on Grand Lake and what I caught it on.
Yeah. Isn't that wild how it just triggers that? Like, it just embeds it in your brain forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that fish right there definitely made me believe I could do this, even though I had no idea or a clue the pathway. This is all way before internet. This is all way before. I mean, that was a Polaroid picture that they printed right as they took the picture, and then just took a little pin tack and stuck it on the wall. Wrote 12-pound bass lake record.
So how did you get involved in tournament fishing? Like, did you join a club?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I did. So at 15 years old, my first job was to work at a tackle store in Pleasant Hill near Concord, between Walnut Creek and Concord, Pleasant Hill. It was called Hogan's Sporting Goods. And I worked there. And while working there, I loved it because I was getting discounted. I was getting paid like $4.25 an hour back then, which was minimum wage. It dates me, right? Well, anyway, I got the discount on the tackle. It'd take me all week just to buy the Rico when it first came out, the old popper. It was a week's worth of work, but the discount on tackle. And then these guys came in from a club as I got, I think I was right when I turned 18. So I'd worked there for like 3 years before I even ever stepped foot on a bass boat. And it was mostly just golf course pond fishing. When I became 16, I got my driver's license, driving to Napa and hitting up the wineries and all the golf courses and everything. And that's how I fished, from shore. And some of the reservoirs you're not supposed to fish, protected watersheds, I guess you could say. I got my share of tickets of trespassing tickets as a kid, but it taught me how to bass fish. And so I was 18 years old, and I got invited to fish a club where they met at this Fuddrucker hamburger joint I think it was the first Wednesday of every month. And I remember going in there so nervous. I'll never forget. So I went in there, and I didn't have a boat. I didn't know. And it was a drawing. Like, there was these non-boaters in there, and there were the boaters, and they just basically had a big raffle. And I got to go out, and I drew a guy named Tony Lucerna. Great dude. Unfortunately, we went to Berryessa, made it halfway from the ramp across the lake, and the motor blew. So that was my first experience. Then the second one, I actually took third place at Clear Lake and caught big bass. And then the next tournament was at Sonoma Lake. I took second in big bass, and I realized, man, I want to fish from the front of the boat. So I had to do a little more than working for $4.25 an hour. So I did. I worked for my friend's dad who did construction. He paid me cash. And so I just saved. And then I bought my first boat at the end of that year and jumped in my first Pro-Am at 18 years old and on the California Delta and finished 9th place and won like $3,000. Back then, that was a ton of money.
Yeah.
I'd never be another poor day. Yeah.
Right. So that was it right there. That just got me going. Then on my 19th birthday, I sunk my bass boat on the Delta. A week later, I was making spinnerbaits for a company at the time, and a week later, I kind of played hooky and went snowboarding and woke up in the hospital, broke my thumb, and couldn't make spinnerbaits fast enough, so I got fired from that job. Went back to the tackle store, and then became a sales rep in the fishing world, working for a company called Callan Western Sales. I did everything from Daiwa, Yozuri, a lot of the name products we have now, Power Pro. And so I got kind of the business side of it. Then went back to school, worked for a distributor, did that for a little bit. And then I got called back to Callan Western Sales to move to Southern California and take over the Southern California territory as a sales rep down there. Did that. And then I got a job at Akuma as assistant sales manager, did that. And then I qualified the first year they had the EverStart series out west and qualified to the FLW tour at the time. And that's when I never looked back. So
awesome.
That's my story in a GIF, but it's kind of, there's a lot of failure and a lot of broke days and a lot of living in the car and a lot of, there's a lot more to making it work. But it was just chasing the dream and not letting anything stop me, And then I did the Bassmaster Tour before it was the Elites, and let's see here. So that was tough because I broke down. Again, I had an older boat. I never had a new boat, and so I always had older boats. And I remember going to Guntersville for the first time at a Bassmaster Tour. Now, granted, the whole season only cost like $12,000 or $16,000 for the whole year before it became the elites. And I broke down at Gunnersville up the river the first day, and they brought me a boat. Actually, I lost my phone that morning. So Gary Yamamoto ran by, waved him down. He threw me his phone and kept on going. I called the tournament director. They brought me a boat, met me up there. I left my boat up the river for 2 days. Cashed a check in that tournament, which is crazy. I even cashed a check in that tournament. And that was, I think, then I went on to the FLW tour for that year as well. And that year, the last term of the season, I mean, I cashed a check at Atchafalaya Basin. I had like a couple decent tournaments, but there was 200 boats. I was 100. Well, the last term of the season, I had a 4.5 pounder jump out of my live well at Lake Champlain that cost me the top 10 in the cut. And had that not happened, I would have made top 10 and maybe possibly won $200,000 throwing a frog. Instead, I cashed like a $12,000 check, which was still a ton of money to me. But I finished 101 and didn't requalify to the FLW Tour that year because I missed it by one spot. So I was devastated. And at the same time, I got invited to go to Europe, to Spain, to fish the Euro Cup with Mike Iaconelli, Byron Velvick, Ish Monroe. A lot of my good friends out west. John Murray was there. And then Kelly Jordan. And I'll never forget sitting there talking to Kelly in Spain, not knowing what I was going to do next year. And he told me there was still a Northern Ever Start series I could go fish to possibly get back on the FLW Tour that hadn't started yet. And I'm like, no way. So that's what I did. I came home and I jumped up there, and I ended up actually I went to the first tournament. I thought I broke my ribs on the Detroit River going from Elizabeth Park, if you guys are familiar with that, down the Detroit River. There was a Miracle Mile area, and then I was fishing in St. Clair, and I finished like 65th out of 200. And I remember thinking I had a broken rib and went to the ER. It turned out I had actually broke out in shingles at like 25 years old. And it wasn't broken. Yeah. And then next week was at Mississippi River. So I had a couple of roommates. We just crashed at a Motel 6 for a week. I just laid there wearing a white T-shirt because it felt like sharp glass on my body. And I practiced for a couple hours at La Crosse. And in that couple hours, I found a couple lily pad fields where I knew I'd get a few bites on a frog. And that was my strength ever since, I grew up out west fishing the Delta and all those team tournaments and stuff when I was younger. But I told Chris Jones, the tournament director, and I've told this many times to people, but I was done. I was financially done. I was negative in my bank account. I was literally losing money as I was breathing. And I didn't really have the money to even make it home. Like, that's what worried me the most. Was like, okay, they wanted my balance to the next tournament. I didn't even have that. It was due right after the event. And I remember telling Chris Jones, I'm done. This is it. And he's all, whoa. Like, Chris, if you guys know Chris Jones, very, I don't know. He's just, when he speaks, it's very powerful, right? He just like shut me up. I got all like worried and concerned. He said, Fred, whoa. How do you feel about this week? What do you think you can catch? And I said, maybe 12 to 14 pounds. Everybody's talking 17, 18 pounds. And he says, Fred, if you catch 14 pounds a day, I will see you here on championship day. And I'm not kidding you guys. The first time I saw light in my entire chasing this dream of bass fishing career was the moment he said that, because I really felt like I could do that. But I didn't feel like that going into it, because of the doc talk and all the negativity and all the failures and everything else that went into it. So I saw that light at the end of the tunnel for the first time. And I actually went out there and won that tournament. And it was crazy because I locked down on the second day. I locked down at 1:00 when there was a barge coming up. Very dangerous move, but I needed to, because the only other spot I found fish, we had a north wind blow out the area. I caught them all the first day. And I went down there and I caught like in like probably 10 casts or less. I caught 3-3-pounders, put them in live well, ran back, waited for the barge, and made it back in with 30 seconds, made the championship round, and ended up winning the whole tournament. And that $10,000 in a new boat was like life-changing to me. And then and went on to win another boat in a Bassmaster Open out west that fall. And now all of a sudden I'm qualified to the FLW Tour and the Bassmaster Elites. And that was the inaugural season of the Elites.
Mm-hmm.
The first elite tournament, I finished second to Ish Monroe. I had a 9-pounder in my hands, like last cast, ended up second in that tournament. And I lost that 9-pounder, broke me off. But I finished second. So I had like, I mean, I went on a roll and
Mm-hmm.
won a ton of money really quickly from nothing. And then, just kind of kept on going. I won the major in 2007, which was the next year, and then another one in 2008 on the elite side. And then the sponsors started coming in, and really, it's been pretty dang good career ever since. So,
What's that? What's that feel like when you change from, you're not sure how you're going to make it home
yeah,
to now you're on a roll for several events?
it's weird how confidence can take over any situation. I think that's what I'm lacking the last couple of years in the game I've been playing. But there it was like I could look in a crowded room at the briefing and not be intimidated by anybody. I felt like at the end of the day, I'm fishing against the fish that are out in the lake. I know what I need to do to catch them, and a little bit of faith. And I'm telling you that it just worked out. Like I the way I like to fish and my strengths do tend to target larger than average bass. Throwing frogs, throwing swim baits, punching, flipping, stuff like that. And I know that if I'm doing those certain things, my confidence of getting the right bites is going to happen. It comes down to execution in the event, good equipment, everything else. But having that confidence, it really took that first win to make that happen. Because there was always a fear of failure, which I had plenty of. And once you can eliminate that fear and turn those failures into learning lessons, I think that's when it all kind of came together for me. And that's, and I'll be honest with you, the first, when I got on that run in my late 20s to early 30s, it was the best years of bass fishing I think there ever has been, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
More money involved, and I really capitalized on it. And I did it very selfishly. Like it was my dream. That's all I really cared about was success for myself. And then I met Julie. I actually met her in 2006, but then when Jackson was born, it became immediately about the family. And I still was on that role. And I carried that, but then as kids get a little bit older and then the sponsor dollars, your winnings kind of start tapering down and you're starting to rely more on your sponsor dollars. Your focus is on making sure your sponsors are happy and then being able to provide for your family. I mean, there's a big shift, and it's been a big shift in my life, and it's all good. But I think my preparation for events has not been quite the same as it was, a decade ago or more. But I'm looking forward to bringing that back now that Jackson's off to college and he's fishing himself and he's kicking butt. I feel like, my drives come back a lot. I mean, we talked today. He was out there. He caught like a 7.5 pounder in Oklahoma today, and he's telling me about all the big bites out there. And it's just it gets me fired up. It's so cool to have a son that was grown into the sport, and then just to hear his positivity, it brings everything back to fun, being fun, having fun again.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I kind of carried that off into different tangents there.
No,
Sorry.
that's it's very understandable. We've talked about it on several shows. The younger kids that are doing so well now. Like you said, it is kind of because they're in that selfish time of life, like where that's all there is to them is fishing. That's all there is to them right now, and they'll go through everything that you went through. Jackson will go through everything you went through, and eventually it comes back around. So the frog.
Mm-hmm.
When did the frog? You mentioned that from way back that was your deal. So when did it become your deal, and what do you think makes you better than the other guy at throwing a frog?
I think stubbornness. No, what happened was when I was fishing the Delta and a lot of the team tournaments with my buddies, I always felt like somebody better be throwing a frog, especially on the Delta or Clear Lake. And those are the two places I fished the most. Pretty much at all times. If you're fishing a team tournament, somebody's got to be chucking the frog. I just felt like it was targeted larger than average bass. And so there would be times where even in January, I'm sitting there throwing a frog on the Delta. It might be 52-degree water, but foggy. So the fish are kind of like up near the surface in the grass, and you just have to walk it really, really slow, but they'll eat it. We won a tournament with 18 pounds in January on a frog, and nobody believes it. I mean, it's just that's what I learned, right? Like, there's definitely windows when the frog works best, but sometimes just never putting it down is a good thing too. Now you will also have your share of terrible tournaments, but I just built so much confidence in over the years. And it's, when I came out and fished, like the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Murray that year, it was the first tournament ever won, Bassmaster tournament won on a frog, exclusively on a frog anyway. And it was because I didn't put it down. I mean, that's the reason I won it. It was actually because of muscle memory that the frog became for me, because what I tried to do early in the day did not work. And I finally just ran up the river and pulled the frog out without even practicing it, and found the first piece of grass and literally caught a fish. And I remember it was like 12 inches and it's like 1:00 in the afternoon. And I told my, we had co-anglers back then, I'm going to win this tournament on a frog. After totally not catching anything all morning, the day one. And I went on to catch like 16 pounds in like the next hour, and then ran back down the river, and then elaborated on it every day and ended up winning that elite tournament, which if I ever made a comment like that again, that's just stupid. Like, I don't know what made me think I could win it like that, but it was just that confidence and that muscle memory it's become over the years. So for me, the frog's always been a technique. And then, last few years on and I'm not trying to say anything bad about the Bass Pro Tour. Okay. I really,
We get it.
It's just not.
It's a different format. It's a totally different.
You got to chase 2-pounders. You got to go out there and you got to find schools of them. You got to work together with other guys. You have to. I mean, it takes a lot more than just to be successful tournament to tournament. You almost have to have a team of guys working together. And I've always been a solo dude fishing by myself. Never really worked with anybody ever. And I honestly can't compete at doing that. And it's lost. I mean, I've always been kind of one of those guys that like to build on a pattern throughout the week, but it's a slow build, right? Like, I'm barely getting enough to survive the day on a 5-fish limit, but they're the right ones. I can't go out. I mean, I think what also, and this is also my fault, but again, I'm a family guy. I love spending time with my family. My youngest is in sports. I don't want to miss any of that. Those days are the days I should be out there pre-practicing on these bodies of water to learn for those events coming up. I won't do it. I will not do it while my kids are young. Like, it's just, I won't do it. And so I show up at most tournaments with my couple days of practice, try to figure something out. And it's never enough. Now, if it was 5-fish limits this year, I probably would have catch 5 out of 7 tournaments. But it wasn't enough to compete on the numbers. So for me, I'm out. I'm out on that deal.
Yeah.
They cut the field down to 50, and I think it was a blessing for me to not have the option to go back. So I'm excited to get back on a 5-fish pro.
So on the frog, just before we get off the frog, do you think that, just from listening to you, sounds like maybe the biggest mistake people make is just not throwing it enough?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, even at Grand Lake, the last time we were there for an elite tournament, I made the top 10. And I caught several of my key fish on a frog skipping behind the docks. I think it's a bait that you guys will pick it up and throw it, and then if they don't get bit on it quickly, they're like this, especially with the advancement of electronics, you can lose that confidence in throwing something that is more of like an instinctive way to fish, I guess you could say, or it's more of like, you don't know for sure. I mean, I've scoped a few fish on a frog. You can do that. But when you actually know that you can see them with your live scope, you're probably going to end up feeling like you're wasting time trying to catch fish, old school, I guess you could say. So I think sometimes technology might take over a little bit on guys wanting to frog, and I'll still do it because I just have that much confidence in it. But I think there's a balance there too. So I think I think you nailed on the dot. I just think guys just don't throw it enough. I think if somebody wants to get good at a frog, they need to just bring frog rods and that's it, and try it at your body of water because there's probably a frog bite somewhere. It may be. I remember one day I went to I did a video deal on the Columbia River for a company I was with, and one of the guys knew I loved throwing frogs, and he wanted to show me the frog bite on Columbia River. I was like, no way! Like, what do you have to throw a frog? He was getting bit on the bluff walls, and I was like, dude, this is sick. So if there was like one little twig, he'd walk that sucker by. Cody Compton is his name, and when that sucker, I mean, and he called a shot on it, I was like, okay, that's a pretty cool little trick. So he found a frog bite on something that so I remember going to Lake of the Ozarks and going to a bluff wall, and I saw one twig, and I threw a frog by there, and boom, got one. I was like, huh, works here too. So I'm sure you could probably throw other baits, like popper or something like that, to probably catch them. But it's pretty cool to see, other people fish frogs in different ways.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the. Let's answer this question from Brett Mitchell right first. He's asking, do you miss living in Bixby?
Oh yeah, I do. Thank you. I love Bixby. I love Oklahoma. I mean, we had a great place. We lived there and a lot of friends. But I will tell you that moving to Arkansas has put us a little more into we don't have neighbors around, which nothing against neighbors, but it's just I got a couple tree stands up on the hill. We got some land here, so it's like I kind of like this living. But while the kids were young and the family and the restaurants and everything that Bixby and Oklahoma and Tulsa has, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great things that I miss there, and again, just the people. But I do love it here in Arkansas too. So
yeah,
I mean, I kind of wish I'd go back to Bixby and visit a little more often, but yeah.
All right, NPFL.
Yep.
We've heard several people talk about the vibe and how everybody they talk to just loves it. What do you think it is about that league that that vibe is the way it is?
I think it's just I think it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like that, what you're getting yourself into. You're fishing for 5 fish. It's basic bass fishing. That you don't see any drama around it. Like I can't. I try to dig for it just to see was there anything I don't want to. I've got to meet Brad Fuller personally. I actually got to play golf with him at that Ultimate Angler deal. He was on my team, and what a great dude. I mean, he's talking about going to the takeoffs in the morning and launching guys. I'm like, What? Are you kidding me? Like, oh, and here's the other cool thing about the NPFL. Again, I've been doing this for 20 years, right? This will be my 21st year. Avery's got a few more years of high school, and then he's going to go off to college. And then Julie is going to be able to travel with me a little bit. She can go practice with me. Family can practice with you. Sponsors can practice with you. There's some cool rules there. I like that. I personally, I want to spend the rest of my life having fun and having a good time. And I just want to enjoy it. And I feel like when I talk to Scott Canterbury, now granted Scott's won 2 of them this year, but he tells me how fun the events were. And he told me that before he won. So, just, I don't know. It
reminds me of what I've heard about it and what I hear from the anglers. It almost reminds me of like how the Bass Nation Championship used to be and how the Classic used to be with all the volunteers and putting you in and out of the water and just everybody's happy to be there. And, it gives me that vibe that it's like when I was at Bass and ran the nation, and my pride, I mean, I'll be honest, my pride and joy was that nation championship. I wanted the anglers to feel like they were that Kevin Van Dam was no better than they were, that they were treated just the same. And I think there's a lot of that at MPFL.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, where they're treated, where y'all are treated great. And I did listen to Brad Fuller on a podcast the other day, and he said some things that, you know, like just being upfront with the anglers about, hey, you know, we're going to take care of you, but understand this is what this is what we got to do to run our business so that we can take care of you. And I think there's a little lacking in some other places about being upfront and
Yeah.
just transparent. And Brad is definitely that.
Well, I mean, being Veterans Day, which I do need to throw a shout out there to everybody that has served, you know, all branches, even, you know, our police and fire department. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. But Brad also, ex-military himself, I think it's black and white with him. You know, there's no favoritism. There's no, yeah, we'll kind of do this for one guy and not the others. I feel like we're all treated the same. You know,
Yep.
Every angler feels that way that I've talked to. And that's the way it should be. That's what I want. I want fair rules, strict rules, and I want to see everyone have fun.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like.
I think that's what I mean, if I was fishing, that's what I would want.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I was good enough to do that. I want to back up just a little bit. A comment. We had a question. Dennis Buck wants to know what your setup for throwing a frog is.
Yeah. So
Favorite setup.
that's a great question. You know, for a long time, I've always kind of went with, and people are like, man, you know, why aren't you using those high end reels and this and that? I don't want drag. I want a cheaper reel that has a drag that just locks up. I want something that can hold 18 pounds of pressure, you know, if possible, because I'm cinching that sucker all the way down. So I want something that can cast really far. So 2 reels I'm using right now for frogging. I actually just started using the baits, the goat, which I think they may have just discontinued. You can still find them. I think maybe Bass Pro bought the inventory of them. So it's the goat. It's a 150 size. It holds 50 to 65 pound braid, pretty much as far as you can cast, and you can lock the drag down. That one does have 18 pounds of pressure. Now the other reel that if I was to tell someone to go buy, it's the Shimano SLX. The XT in a 7.2, I think it's 7.2 or 7.3 to 1, 7.2, I believe. Anyway, that's a great retrieve. I love that speed on frogging. I don't want one that's too fast because I want to be able to walk it kind of in place. If you start winding an 8 to 1, it starts going forward more than it's going back and forth. So I like that speed generally. And then on braided line, I use Cortland Master Braid. I absolutely love it. It's like the old original Power Pro before it was ever bought by Shimano, and it's made right here in the U.S. There's a lot of history with Cortland in the fly fishing world, but they have a braided line called Master Braid. I actually have a link in my Instagram profile. Guys can buy directly from that link if they're interested. But yeah, it's an excellent. So the 50 pound. If I'm doing long distance casts or skipping and I'm not around absolute giants, now if I'm at Delta, Clear Lake, Gunnersville, I'll probably go the 65 route. But you really don't ever need to go any heavier than that. That braid is so strong, it does not break. But it doesn't hold that water weight. So when you're working a frog, you're actually working the frog. You're not just like snapping water, if that makes sense. A lot of braids will hold water weight. So when you're making those longer casts, you feel it whipping the line, and the frog's not getting the movement it deserves. So that's what I do. And then of course I've got my own signature frogs. I've got the Boom Boom frog, the Pop and Boom frog, and then I've got the new frog. It just got released like this week. I think Thursday is the actual release date, but it is available now at tacklewarehouseandbaits.com, and it's the Sonic Boom frog. It's an incredible frog. It's really soft. It's got BKK hooks. It's got some Mylar in the legs. It walks really easy. It's really durable. It's got shrink wrap around the hooks that prevent not only the water from getting into the frog, but also from the hook separating on the hook set. So there's no flexibility. We got the heavy nose to it. So when you walk it and kill it, it gives it an extra like teeter hop. So as you kill it, it's got a little more action there. We got the eyeball on the bottom. We rounded the eye tie from the regular boom boom. And then the other bait that we just came out with is called the mongrel. And that is something that I've wanted to do with companies for like 20 years. And finally, GSM listened to me when we started this frog factory. It's basically the acoustics of a spook. It weighs 1 ounce. See, back in the day when I lived at Clear Lake in the Delta, I found a lot of my fish way back in the reeds, taking all the hooks off a super spook and throwing it in there. Just you couldn't throw a frog and get the noise or even the heaviness to get through the reeds. And I'd get these massive blowups, and then have to figure out how I'm gonna get in there and flip those fish because there was nothing else I could do. But I've wanted to make a bait like this forever, and we did it with GSM. So it's called the mongrel. Weighs a full ounce, and you can bomb this thing. You can walk it over emergent milfoil. It's absolutely incredible. It's got big hooks in the back, 4/0. So it's really truly a cool bait, and there's been a lot of hype about it. So
Nice.
excited about that too. And I fish all those on a on the rod. We never talked about the rod. I like a 7'4", the Phoenix M1 7'4" heavy. In my opinion, is the perfect rod. If I'm over real heavy vegetation, I might go extra heavy, but that heavy M1 7'4" is dynamite with a frog. It's got like a load rate. Like if that fish blows up, you can set the hook pretty much immediately with that braid. You got no stretch in the braid, but the rod is soft enough to where the fish can actually get the frog and you drill them. So all the backbone, keep them up on the surface and wind them in with that lock drag. So
what about your knot on the?
Dude, I just do an old school Palomar knot. It never slips with braid. So just a Palomar is all you need to do with it.
Just a regular Palomar or a double
you can
Palomar?
do a double. You can do a double if you want to. I just do regular. I've never had an issue.
Yeah, nice.
Especially with this Master Braid by Cortland.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Hope that answered your question, Dennis. All right.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, that was a good question. I lost my train of thought. Danny, why don't you ask him your questions?
Oh dear. I don't know if Fred's ready for this.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready.
He's ready.
Let's do it.
Oh, dude, I am just the comic relief from time to time. I think that's what I do here. Just to break the conversation up a little bit. So when you're fishing, when you're traveling, are you an Airbnb guy, or are you camping? What do you?
He used to be an Airbnb guy, but now that Jackson stayed
Now we're
here,
going to Lake Lodge at Grand, and then if we go to Kentucky Lake, same thing over in Paris.
Yeah.
I've always been good friends. Actually, it's funny. Before the lodge, I stayed at Eric Nichols' house the last few. I think I finished top 5 every time I stayed at his place. So there's no doubt your place is going to have the good luck that.
Absolutely.
So,
I just talked to him today too.
He's a great one of the best people I know, and
Yeah.
I feel like hotels probably aren't as safe as they used to be. I think lodges like you have, Airbnbs are nice if you got a group of guys, and that's what I've been traveling with a few guys, and on the Bass Pro Tour, I haven't really. I've got one. I got a couple guys. On the NPFL, I'm good. We're going to do Airbnbs. We got big houses with everything there on that. But as far as the pro circuit, I haven't really even dived into that housing situation yet. But there'll probably be a few hotels still. But man, you get kind of spoiled when you have a place that's meant for bass boats, like you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you're traveling, you're going up and down the interstate. You see the sign and you have to stop. Where are you stopping?
I mean, it's hard to not stop at Buc-ee's when you see one, right? Buc-ee's is like, and you got to plan your way around it. You're like, okay, when I get up there, How's my diesel exhaust fluid looking? Because they actually fill it up. You can get it at the pump, so you got to find the right pump for that. There's like 250 pumps there, but there's only a couple of them that have the diesel exhaust. So I try to time it just right, find that one area, and then I've already got a game plan what I'm gonna go in there. I love their sandwiches, so if I usually go in there and get like 4 of their roast beef sandwiches. They're pre-made. I throw them in my ice chest. I'm gonna eat on those for the next couple days. I make sure I get the the barbecue sandwich. I like the brisket. That's pretty dang good. And if it's morning time, I'll get their big breakfast burrito.
Nice.
Of course, their restrooms are fantastic. They're clean. I feel like there's somebody waiting out there to clean it right when you're done, which is crazy. But yeah, that is where I like to go. Now, the next one would probably be a Quick Trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like tackle stores. If I'm going to stop and I see and I know there's a local tackle store, I gotta, I always like to swing by the pro shops, like the mom and pop pro shops. Those are, to me, the best. They've got all the unique baits. A lot of them, really have stuff that you can't find at your larger outdoor retailers. So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Yes.
If there's a unique place, like if you're in the Carolinas and you got Carolina Fish and Tackle, you're crazy because that's a lot of JM products. If you're down in Alabama, Mark's Outdoors is. I always stop there. Yeah, and there's several other ones I can't think of the top of my head. But yeah.
Yep, understand.
So you mentioned scoping,
Mm-hmm.
and this isn't a scoping question. This is just a sonar question.
Yeah.
And you've been both ends of the United States, north, south, and international.
Yeah.
Craziest thing you've seen on the sonar screen? Something you couldn't explain? Something that was weird? Or
Well, we've seen a lot of, boats, boats down there, stuff like that. But for whatever reason, Jackson, I'm going to go back to my kid on this. He has solved mysteries with live scope. We found one car that was on Darnell. He found 2 at this lake up on the hill using our little aluminum boat with no outboard because it's a watershed, and there were 2 stolen vehicles there. So he's found 3 cars, and both of those held us at the ramp for many hours while they. And I guess when you find a vehicle like that, it's almost like there's a fight. Like if it's been lost for that long, you can actually claim it, and we don't want nothing to do with it, but it's kind of cool.
yeah,
2019 Toyota Tundra or Tacoma, and I mean it's worthless when it's been underwater that long. And they asked, "Do you guys want it?" We're like, "No." Don't even tell my kid that it's even an option.
Yeah. I don't want that thing in the yard.
No. Actually, when we wiped off the slime and stuff, the paint was still pretty white. I was actually surprised, but everything else in it's trashed. So no thanks. let the divers have it, whatever they need. They can scrap it for whatever. I don't care. But that, vehicles, I think, is what I saw. Sturgeon at St. Clair. That was really cool to actually see a sturgeon swim by. I mean, there's no mistaking a sturgeon with the nose and everything. It's just long, and the fins and the big tail. I mean, it's just, there's no mistaking a sturgeon on live scope. And that's really neat when you see one.
I could probably mistake it because I don't know what I'm looking at half the time.
But I mean,
I'm not that good.
Those are probably the underwater bridges, stuff like that. I've seen. Found a lot of cool culverts, like you would never know there would be. Like, I mean, if you didn't know the history of a lake and you just rolled up and you saw a culvert under there, there's usually fish down there, and it just looks like a black square. It looks like I don't know, like something you could travel in time through. And you just throw your bait in there and you just catch a fish. So
Nice.
A couple out here, Mel.
Cool.
But yeah.
Who were your idols growing up? Not idols, but fishermen you looked up to, or?
I mean, there's a lot of them, really, honestly. For me, I mean, obviously the same guys that most guys have: Rick Clunn, Jimmy Houston, Bill Dance, Roland Martin. Those guys have always been idols of mine. But I think for me personally, being out west, John Murray is a really, really good friend of mine. He kind of took me under the wing when I left California for the first time, let me travel with him a little bit. And I just felt like the connection with John, I always looked up to him. The guy's won 40 bass boats. I mean, it's unbelievable what the dude's done.
Yeah.
And he's just a legend of the sport, and especially a legend out west. U.S. I think he's got 2 U.S. Titles out there at Lake Mead and the Open, the U.S. Open. And I think John's just a living legend in fishing. So he's probably, he's a good friend of mine too.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to the most this year?
Just getting started with a fresh slate. So going down to Florida, Harris Chain for the MLF Pro Circuit starts here at like the first week of February. I think it's end of January, February. Now, if I get in the Bass Open, I'll get to go down to Kissimmee first. So I just got to see if I can get in those events. And I got to, I'm also trying to work on the sponsorships things too. So I'd like to be able to fish it all. It's gonna be a heavy load, but just go down to Florida early in the year is what I look forward to. I don't care where in Florida. Just it's so cold up here in Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma. It's just so cold in January, February, and I don't fish well in the cold. I'm from California, guys.
Right.
Like that's you're not going to get a frog fish here in January. It's just not going to happen. Actually, I did catch one at Lake Darnell in the power plant on a frog. Yes, that's happened once. But other than that, no. So I'm looking forward to going down and hopefully catching some good weather and maybe some spawning fish early in the year.
Nice. What are you not looking forward to this year? Is there a lake on the schedule that you're just not really thrilled to go to, or
no? Honestly,
travel to
this
a
is
long
how bad
way?
I've been so busy. I really haven't even looked at the schedule. So for me to answer that correctly, I don't even know where I'm fishing. I don't even know where I'm going. I don't know. Wheeler Lake was the second or the third, or no, it was the third pro circuit event, and I really wasn't looking forward to that one. But it just so happens the MPFL lands right on top of that, so I'll be back in Florida, so I don't have to worry about the one I don't care about.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm excited to start the MPFL in Florida. So really, just to start all 3 in Florida is going to be wonderful. And I'm like a 30%er in Florida. Like 30% of the time is amazing. The rest of the time, it's not. I just like fishing down there.
Yeah, Florida can be. It's different.
Yeah, because any little cold front or cold trend or whatever,
you
have to slow down. And even though I like throwing frogs and stuff like that, I don't like fishing slow. And I like power fishing, and that's the one thing that's going to hurt me is if I have to sit there and drag a Senko. I can catch them on a Senko, but I got to know to do it. Like it has to be like, but I think over the years, I think I know when I need to do it. I don't know. We'll find out this year.
Yeah.
Love throwing it, catch a lot of fish on them. But if I could power fish them, I'd probably rather do that.
Absolutely. Cranker, you got anything you want to ask? You've been thinking about any questions?
No, not really. What are some, I guess, things you look for as far as when you're targeting fish with a frog or in grass in general? Like, what are things that you look for when you look at grass patches or an area that's got grass? Is there certain areas that you pick out first?
I mean, the biggest thing is when you get to a lake and you just don't know, if you don't have any history or anything like that, you got to run around and look for birds, look for bait, look for signs of life. If you get into a grassy area, kind of just sit there for a second and just kind of look at it and assess the situation, because you could sit there and throw a frog forever and if there's no activity or anything getting the fish fired up, you know, that can be it can go, you can waste a lot of time. But I
Yeah.
will say this though, and one of the biggest things I like doing is running up to an area, making some casts immediately, because that's when you do stir the bait fish up. And then when it looks really, really good and you just keep going, that's my downfall is, okay, look, I gotta, this isn't happening here, even though it looks amazing. So a lot of times you just have to look at the obvious and look, are there any birds around? Is there any, activity? Is there any movement in the water? You hear any popping in the pads? Just little things like that. If you hear life, you're probably good to go. You're good to fish. I mean, so, but yeah, I mean, I just look at stuff that it's almost like you roll up to an area and you're like, this looks like you should catch a fish. You've got so much confidence. That's a good thing. Like as long as you go into an area with confidence, you're probably going to catch some fish. And
Mhm.
you just go in there just kind of feeling, I don't really know. And then you sit there and keep throwing. Now you're just wasting time, so, yeah.
Good deal.
Kind of like you did, Kyle, when we went back to the tree.
Yeah, the tree.
The tree.
The magic.
The magic tree.
But that was the opposite of frog fishing. That was fairy wand fishing.
That was the opposite of frog.
So Fred, I'm snooping through your pictures on Facebook. That's what I do while we do these shows and pull stuff up. I found one that probably not a lot of people have, and I'm going to show this.
I hope it's legal.
It's legal.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, that's pretty awesome, huh?
That's
Ray
really
Scott.
cool.
Yep, and that would be Little Jackson. That was, you know what? Was it 2000? Let me go back in time here a little bit here. Yes, that was Jackson. That was 1 year old. So that was right here. I could tell by that rope. That was in the background. That was right here at Lake Darnell. That was before we ever bought land here or anything. And Ray Scott was telling Jackson he's going to be a pro fisherman one day. And look at him now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. And that's my old yellow Triton in the background. That's cool. So
Very
wow.
cool.
Yeah, so that's the thing too. Like, so Facebook, I kind of got kicked out of my own Facebook, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So most of my posts go on Frederick Roumbanis, which I gotta accept a bunch of followers. But my Instagram is connected to that, and I can't get it connected to the Fred Roumbanis. So my Instagram account, if you look at Instagram, Danny, it's full. Like, it's what I use.
Yes, it is.
So that's what the Instagram is where I go now, and it's fine because my sponsors. But I do need to figure out how I almost need some social media genius to help me get that, either get everything moved over from that Fred Roumbanis to Frederick and then change the Frederick back to Fred. So, because they're linked, right? So, I don't know. Social media sometimes tough.
It can be very frustrating.
It gets so frustrating. I just want to hook the boat up and go fishing and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we have a Facebook page for the show here, but like 6 months ago, I got locked out of it.
Yeah.
Violated community standards.
Yeah.
Like,
and you probably didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
So that's why the new one's called the Do-Over.
Oh, nice. So we're in the same boat there.
And yet we didn't get locked out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh my. That's a top 3 all time. Maybe that might be the top. I don't know.
And I'll tell you, nowadays too, like, social media is it's everything. Like, it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't matter to my sponsors what I fish anymore. As crazy as it sounds, as long as I'm reaching the people that I'm reaching on Instagram, that's all they care about. And then they just want me to be a positive influence, and I'm happy about that. I like that. And I feel like it's actually, it's going to be a great 2026. I know it is,
I feel like you've got a great attitude, like for the upcoming year. I think, I watched some posts and stuff from the last year, and you can tell you can tell that you're in a better place.
I've had some things happen the last couple of years that, I mean, I got hit by a drunk driver near the end of the season last year, and I have not cashed a check on the regular tour since. If that, and I can't tell you why. It's just weird like that. Then I lost my mom on last Christmas, and I was really close to my mom. I should not have fished this year at all. I went straight from losing my mom to working boat shows and then right into the tournament season in January last year. And it was just like, if I wasn't finding fish in practice, I was just bawling. I just never had time to grieve. And then come home and have to move everything out of her house and deal with, the lawyers and all the probate and all that stuff. It's just, there was no time for me to even think about tournament fishing until I showed up in practice. So halftime, I didn't even know where we were taking off from or what, it was just, it was a rough year for me this year. And, I did have a tournament at heavy hitters, and this is wild. I went to heavy hitters, something I qualified from the year prior. And the first day of the tournament, I tied with Dave Lefebvre for big bass. I had a 6 pound, 7 ouncer. You weigh them on a scale, and you want to weigh it again, but you're tied at that moment. So you're splitting $10,000 for that fish.
Yeah.
You weigh it again or change scales to try to get that extra ounce or take a chance of losing $5,000. I basically took the even money on a blackjack. And, we go there. And then the next day I come up 1 ounce shy of big bass, and I do change the scales at this point, and it actually goes down an ounce. So it probably was a good move the day before, but I still got second big bass that day. But then my average bass went, of all the bass I caught, which was a good amount, but it wasn't like the numbers thing everyone else is chasing. I still had a 3.8 pound average, which was the largest average of anybody. So looking at that by taking the math of how many fish were caught and then dividing it by, my average was 3 pounds, 8 ounces. And that told me right then and there, I need to go back to 5 fish limit tournaments, because that's the way I like to fish. I'm down the main lake throwing glide baits and chasing, quality fish. And you don't get enough of them to bite, to be competitive. Like you just don't. And so we went to dinner that night, just kind of celebrate Jackson's, we're celebrating Jackson's birthday. And there was a mural on the wall. And on the wall, it was almost like my life story. And it was really neat because it had like a little dock with a little ice cream boat on it. When I met Julie at an ice cream stand, my wife, right? There was flamingos in it. My dad collected flamingos. There was a sailboat in the background. My dad sailed. Like, that was his favorite thing to do, was sail. There was a bass jumping out of the water. Obviously that's what I do, is fish. There was the two birds that symbolize the what are they called? The red birds. What are they called? We get them all. Cardinals. Yeah, there were 2 cardinals, and that symbolizes loved ones that have passed in the far corner of the mural. And it just, the whole thing was just like, it was, and then, here's the crazy thing. For whatever reason, there was a Christmas tree on the right side of the mural and a Christmas tree on the left side, and lights going around it. And my mom passed away on Christmas. So it was really, really neat. I got some pictures of it. It was very touching. I felt like they were with us during that moment. And, so I'm ready to come back strong 2026.
And you can tell.
And
and like I said, I can see that you're in a better place and you're ready to go. And we're going to be pulling for you. Have you got anybody you need to bring up, sponsors or anything like that you want to talk about?
So this next year I'm going to be running a baits.com wrap truck and boat, and there'll be a QR code on it, and anybody that sees it, scans it, they're going to save 20%, on any orders that they do through that code. So that's going to be kind of a cool deal. And that's all GSM brands. That could be anything from Dobbins rods, Phoenix rods, Yamamoto, Frog Factory. I mean, everything they've got. And then I'm going to be Phoenix boats. I mean, Mercury outboards, Miller Tech lithium batteries, Bob's Machine Shop, Cortland Master Braid, Crockett Creek beef jerky. I've got a very good,
which is delicious, by the way.
yeah,
Thank you.
so good. I'm glad you got some. So, yeah, I've been. I feel fortunate on that side of things. So, and again, they seem to, if they could ride through this bad wave that I've gone through in the last couple of years, I know they're going to be there for the long haul. So, I'm excited for and thankful for all that.
And where
just
and
follow
where can
Jackson
our
as well.
yeah, and where can our viewers follow you on your socials, Jackson socials?
So it's Fred Roumbanis. That's Roumbanis. Most likely, if you type in Fred Roum, it'll pop up. So,
Yeah.
and on Facebook, if you go to Frederick, that's Fred Erick Roumbanis. That's going to be my new. Once I think you have to hit like 5,000 or something on it to go to a fan page. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to try to convert that over, and then I'll bring my name back to Fred.
Yeah.
But until I can, I mean, that's the only way I can do it. Keep it linked up, right? So it's something I just need to be proactive with. And for now, the Instagram's really the best way to go.
Well, you need a social media director. I mean,
yeah,
Julie does.
So that's the problem. I've hired them in the past, and that's why everything's goofed up. And that you add too many admins in there, then you can't even get in yourself. So
yeah,
that's the problem. I think if I just put some time into really figuring it out, it'll work out. I got to slow down.
Yeah.
I got to slow down. That's the hardest thing. I come home, I just want to spend time with Avery and Julie and Jack when he's here, and it's like,
it doesn't sound like you're going to slow down this next year.
No, I'm not. I'm determined.
That's good.
I got the
That's
fire back
good.
in. I haven't had in a while.
That's awesome. You guys got anything else for him?
I don't think so.
Dude, I loved the story you shared with us, and thanks for sharing that. I needed to hear that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, John. Appreciate you guys a lot. So anytime you all want to do it again, just let me know.
We'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
We
should do like a mid-season report.
Yeah, we'll do that. We will absolutely do that. I got your number. I'll text you. Good luck. We'll be following you. We'll be following you. And
I'm tooting our horn a little bit here, but John's forgotten that we have a little deal. We have you promise.
Oh yeah.
The next win you have, you come back on our show before anyone else.
Sure. But you got to beat whoever calls me first, because that's where I'll screw up.
I hear you. I'm just going to drop.
You'll just have to reach out and be like, "Hey, Fred, come on." I'll be like, "Yeah, absolutely, let's do it." Like,
I'm just going to mention two names from this season, and they were both on 3 times this season. Pat Schlapper and Tucker Smith.
Nice.
Every time they came on, they won another event.
Well, then I'm really excited about this year. Thank you. 2 mega hammers. Good deal.
All right, Fred.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys
Take
so
care.
much. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Fred.
You bet.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yep. I knew he'd be good as well.
A lot of the people that we've had on over the last year and a half of this, a pretty good number I've met, or at least, seen in person, like at the Classic, at the Expo, or boat show or something. I'd never never seen or talked with Fred. You know, I've seen him obviously on weigh-ins and stuff, but cool dude. Really cool dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then Kiki walked in.
Hey,
I didn't want to
There he
ruin you
is.
guys' party.
You wouldn't have ruined our party.
heck no.
Check this out. Can you guys see this big giant mess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got some red string. It's got a big old giant circle hook in it, and it's got a big old giant sinker.
Mm-hmm. Drop shot.
Gotta love Grand Lake.
I'm going to say that's Cajun Red Line
Yeah, it's like
And,
super mono.
and a 1 ounce bell singer.
I mean, golly, just kind of
Them scopers are drop shotting for catfish with that thing.
just kind of picking through some stuff off of the boat, and like, holy Toledo! I forgot that I drug all that in.
Sweet. Ha.
You growing the beard out, Kiki?
Yeah, no
Like it's
shit,
getting-
November.
Oh, nice. I like it.
I'm participating too. I'm just not shaving my legs.
Well, that's good.
It's almost time for Mary Stashmas coming up.
Oh dear.
Mary Stashmas.
Yep.
You know,
Interesting time.
I cannot compete with you three at all. No, I can't compete at all with you three.
Well, thanks for admitting it.
I can't.
So yeah, Connor is trying. He's not old enough yet. I was probably 34, 5 before I could grow anything even close to this. Connor's got this, like,
What's my problem? What's my excuse? Because I'm double that.
You're just not old enough yet.
Double Kiki and double the Kyle's age. Not quite double.
Maybe it fell out.
Problem with mine is I think I just got house broke, and so I all of a sudden can grow one now, and it's got like salt and pepper in the front. I just like.
Mm-hmm.
I think my problem is it's transferring from the back of my head down to my face.
Goatee. You need to just do a goatee, Kiki. Cut or a handlebar, not goatee, whatever the side
Fu
one
Man-
is.
Fu Manchu.
Yeah, do that.
I see. I'm gonna see. You guys keep talking real quick. I'm gonna find something that's funny.
Okay.
It's facial hair related.
Oh, it's like I thought maybe you're gonna watch some other show or something.
Nope.
Richard Heflin. John, you're like me, where it just grows out of our ears now.
And nose.
And nose, yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the nose hair is probably the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
I can always tell when mine's getting bad because I have a trimmer. I have like one of them little trimmers you can stick in your ear and stick up your nose. But I can always tell when my nose is getting bad because when I get up in the morning, the nose hair trimmer will be sticking out of the mirror as a hint from my wife. I need to trim my nose hairs. Rather than just tell me I need it, she just gets the trimmer out and puts it in a place where I can't miss it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I have the odd woman out, I guess, because mine is disappointed that I won't grow a Robertson beard.
Mhm.
Just let
You should.
let everything go.
Why don't you?
No, it's long enough now that if I'm out in the wind, it go, kind of. No, Done. Ready for spring. It's like this till February, and then it's got to come off.
Agreed.
I mean, it really doesn't keep you that much warmer.
No, it doesn't. That's just something guys tell women so they don't have to shave.
I mean, I don't shave very often. Like, if I have to sing Sunday, I'll shave, and I don't like shaving. Like if I have a week's growth on it, so I try to shave at least once in the middle of the week, so it's not so bad Sunday morning that I'm spending a half an hour trying to shave.
Look like you just bonded out, come to church.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So,
Well,
Hold on, I got it. Hold on.
oh, you got it.
Yep, you guys will like this. Give me just a second. There
it
it
isn't a race, is it?
Definitely not a race. It's not gonna be as good as that for sure. There we go.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there, Lemmy.
He looks
That's
like
what you.
he looks like he belongs at a dirt track.
Yeah.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Like I'd almost load you up in like an old Chevy pickup and take you to Humboldt at this point.
I believe I did that for one of the 4-man tournaments that we had, Danny.
Yes, you did. That's right. Oh man, where was?
Was that
That's
a Melbourne
hilarious.
I think it was the Melbourne one.
one? Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's
I
epic.
also did one with a mustache, like just a regular cop stash, and then I had lightning bolt sideburns at Wilson one time.
So you did that and went out in public?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's outstanding. That makes the story even better.
Well, I gave him extra credit on his weight.
I mean, you did extra.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's something.
I mean, did you do it yourself?
Yeah.
He's
That's
even more
talent.
proud. Yep.
That's talent.
Oh, God.
Kiki, if you need someone to trim your beard, I'm your guy.
It looks like it, man. Yeah.
That's talent.
Earwax to get the curls and everything. I like it.
Ooh. Something's wrong with mine. It's all white. Must be a
Not
efficiency,
using the right earwax.
I guess.
Are you fishing this weekend, Kiki?
I don't. I doubt it.
Huh?
I highly doubt it.
Okay.
Moving on to anything else, less awkward.
Didn't mean to make it awkward. Just
Oh no.
kind of burned out.
Yeah, I hear you. Me too.
I don't think anybody responded except me to Terry.
I don't get the. I get the messages, but I don't get any of the responses, no matter what.
Well, unless I don't get them either, but I don't think so. I don't think he got any.
Well, they're just, 'tis the season. I don't know.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Terry and his partner, and me and my partner. fishing for all the marbles.
There you go. Do you? Well,
Next.
I don't know if I want to talk about club business or not. Do you guys meet every month or a couple times a year or just once a year? What do you?
You want to end this live and go off live?
Oh, okay. Offered.
One, I've only heard of one meeting, and I went to at the
There
beginning
you
of
go.
the year.
Okay.
That's it.
60
And then
34. There's a change of subject.
what is it?
63:34 with 9 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to pull it up and I couldn't. For some reason, it wasn't connecting. So I have to go back to the camper and watch it, I guess. But it'll be over by the time I get there. So how much time?
9 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah. Awkward silence.
we got a bunch of the Kansas Buddy Bass guys coming though,
Good. Good.
and most of them are coming tomorrow. Or three or four of them. Four of them, I think, are coming tomorrow, and then the rest are coming like Friday. So that's a good thing.
Very good thing. That's been a really great partnership. That
Mm-hmm.
we had talked about doing that for several years. Because
Yeah.
there's a tremendous difference between being a volunteer position, tournament director, and doing it for a little bit of bump,
Yeah.
and just taking that load off of it, that part of the load.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they're a KBN club, and now they're the largest KBN club.
Yeah.
There's like 60 some members in it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Onward and upward.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see the kayak cheater?
Yeah. What was the deal there?
Okay, so I've got a couple of pictures that I've got to dig for. So,
That guy.
I mean, sometimes people work harder at being crooks than they do at being honest. I mean, it would be just as easy to be honest as
Yeah.
But you don't win as much.
well, that's true too.
You probably lose more though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you would think that.
I mean, there's not very many good crooks out there. If they were all good crooks, they'd all be rich.
True enough.
That Tony Christensen in FLW was pretty dadgum good at it. Wasn't that his name? The dude that his best friend was a scuba diver,
Tony.
and he put the fish in the tanks next to the docks, and then pulled them in and was showing pictures of them about half dead and everything else to weigh in.
Man.
Was that Tony Richardson?
Christensen or something, right?
Christensen. Yeah, I didn't know that was that.
He was the FLW dude years ago that was.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know they ever figured that part of it out.
Well, that was always what everybody was saying. I mean,
Yeah.
but nobody even knows where he's at now. He's gone.
Well, he probably doesn't fish anymore.
No.
Kind of like Paul Tormanen. He doesn't fish anymore either, I don't think.
Tormanen?
Yep.
I haven't heard that name.
He's the guy that won like 3 boats from Central Pro Am, and then we busted him in a Bassmaster Open.
How'd that work out for him?
Like I said, he's no longer fishing, I don't believe.
What a daggum shame, you know it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to get these pulled up or not. Every time I try to pull it up, it knocks me out of the studio.
Mm.
Anyway, somebody had posted pictures of the dude's little tracker, bass tracker, fished out of.
Yep.
With the cutout of the kayak was on the back deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to pull it up, but I mean, that's pretty enterprising. Fake kayak.
I mean,
But
technically not
I
fake
saw-
kayak, just part of a real kayak.
I saw a post from supposedly from the real kayak's owner. He had a picture of the kayak in one piece and said it was stolen a couple weeks ago
Oh,
from the same area.
wow.
So he crooked to be a crook.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not even his own kayak he cut up.
Man. Some people's children.
Dude needs this guy. Needs a little bit of
Remind me to tell you a story about Glenn and his bag of legit. Not on the air.
I'm waiting to tell one off too. So that makes 2 of us, DB.
Well, let's get out of here so we can tell these stories real quick.
Yeah, nothing like leaving our audience hanging. See you later.
See y'all.
Later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.